Oh, hello, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box. Well, you're never too young or too old or too cynical or too open-minded or too whatever to discover a new musical treasure, to learn about a new style, new genre, or discover a new musician. And while I know quite a few musicians, what they are and what they do, because I love listening to music, I love being around music. I'm addicted to music. Just this other day, a couple days ago, I really started to dive into someone who I didn't know much about before. And because he is so good, he is now one of my favorite pianists of all time. Someone that I put alongside my other favorites who I've done a video about before. But now this man, Roy Meriwether, is on my list of the greatest pianists of all time. I've spent the last few days listening to his stuff over and over and over, and his touch on the piano is absolutely peerless. He turns the instrument into something that's just elevated above the mechanics of this large and somewhat complex instrument. His sense of harmony is again peerless. I struggle to think of someone whose harmony is this compelling. His style is sort of a mix of sort of post-bop, hard bop, gospel, blues, avant-garde, classical inspirations you can definitely hear. Really a mix of things, but it's the gospel aspect of the music that really anchors his playing, whether he's playing original compositions or whether he's playing covers of well-known standards from the Great American Songbook. Now, one of his crowning achievements, and from what there's not much biographical information about Roy Meriwether, but from what I've been able to read about him, his crowning achievement was something that happened in 1976, and this was the release of the album Black Snow. This was a concept album, and you can see the cover, or at least part of the cover, behind me. And this was like a musical opus encompassing all of the styles that Roy Meriwether was adept at in telling the story of civil rights and black liberation in the United States. It was a narrative, and it was touching and moving and musically so interesting. I don't care if you hate blues or hate jazz or aren't into gospel, listen to this album. I can see it appealing to progressive rock fans, classical music fans, and of course, fans of the blues, the jazz, jazz fusion, avant-garde jazz, gospel, choral music, because it really had everything on this album. And it's luckily on Spotify. Couldn't find it on Tidal, which is weird, but it's on Spotify and Qobuz and all of the other usual suspects. And it's absolutely fantastic. He also operated before his tragic death. Well, he was 78, but I say tragic because I wish he was still alive. In 2021, he operated a YouTube channel that's still up that has hours of live footage of him. And I highly recommend that you go there because live was really when he was in his element. And he was definitely someone, he didn't kiss the rear end of the music industry. And because of that, it seems that he wasn't given as much time in the studio as some of his less talented peers. But he recorded quite a lot of live albums on small labels and lots of live video, most of it in pretty good audio quality that accompanies the video on his YouTube page. So if you just go to I'll tell you what it is now. It's the official Roy Meriwether page, and the handle on YouTube is at Black Snow Publishing. Say that again, Black Snow Publishing. So definitely check that out. It's really wonderful stuff, and I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. I'll put a link to his YouTube page, and then you can just type his name into Spotify. Black Snow is that album. What a find. What a musician. He seems like a real kind soul. He had a Facebook page and he would sort of reflect on his musings on life and all these types of things. And he wasn't a celebrity-minded person. He just wanted to play music with other great musicians and make the people listening feel something. And he most certainly did that. Check him out. He might become one of your favorites too. Like, subscribe. We will see you next time. Take care.